Hello everyone from Springfield, Illinois, the home of Abe. So what we saw this week, so first was an article from CNN about U.S. rental prices decreasing in May, May over May. So we saw a slight decrease from last year, even though there was a $3 increase from April. I think what this really shows is that there is an end to the rental inflation that we've seen the last couple years. But I do think you need to take it with a grain of salt and look at it a little deeper. This is very regional. What we saw happen in the West and the South where apartment rents decrease. But yet in the Midwest and the Northeast, we saw rents still increasing. In particular in the Midwest with markets like Cincinnati, Columbus, St. Louis, there's still good sized rental increases. So I think this will be interesting to watch throughout the rest of the year as more supply hits the market later in the year. And then also from the Wall Street Journal, we saw an article about U.S. home prices decreasing. Again, another article that I think you have to look at, it's very regional. There's markets in the Midwest in particular, like Chicago, where home prices were up 4%, but out west, like a market like Seattle, home prices were down 12%. I think it's interesting to look at too is last year, about a year ago, we saw rental prices peak in 2022 and then slowly decrease the rest of the year, but they've leveled off and stabilized this year. Even though from our peak last year, the market's really only about down 2 to 3% from its high. So that'll be interesting to watch. We also saw from the Washington Post an interesting article about a gentleman that purchased a lifetime pass from United Airlines in 1990 and has since then flown 23 million miles. It's a really interesting article, and I think one thing in particular is he talks about his advice, and one thing in particular that I agree with is never ever check a bag. Great advice there, check that out. So also interesting, Amazon started testing out a Robotaxi in Las Vegas. It's a 1 mile stretch that they're shuttling their employees in an automated taxi or automated vehicle, so that it'd be interesting to see how that works out. And then finally, a great article from Elliot Eisenberg. It's a great follow for anybody that's out looking for a brief update each day. Actually, he sends out a brief blog every day on several topics. And this week he talks about the TSA reported that airline traffic is back to 2019 levels. Hotel occupancy is back to the past 20-year median occupancy level, and gas consumption is 95% of its 2019 level. So travel is back, and I think as we go into this holiday season, we're really going to see the travel really hit its peak again, and that's interesting. I'm glad I'm traveling this week by car and not by plane. So that's what I see transitioning this week. Take care, everybody.